COP28 Dubai live here. It's late at night, it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we're on the second week of COP. OnePoint5Media and Allied4Future Innovators Magazine. Can you believe it? Look at those lights. There's the dome. A lot of people exiting the COP, a little bit of movement. The tone is kind of down and things are great. I'm here with a good new friend, Cynthia. She has been here at the COP for a while. Cynthia, can you just introduce yourself, first and last name, what you're doing here at the COP?
My name is Cynthia Jonströmer, and I'm here because I support climate change. I'm in the board of Harvard Business School Club of Sweden, responsible for ESG and climate change. I'm a big supporter to COP.
That is so great to hear, and you're also a supporter of a very good friend of mine, Ingmar Rentholz, and his wonderful company, We Don't Have Time. And I know you're here kind of making sure they do good and seeing them. They're doing interviews and broadcasts every day at the COP, and they're such a wonderful organization. I'm a climate reality leader along with Ingmar, and that's where we very first met. At an Al Gore training in Berlin. He came there and we had a lot of great time. And you actually are from Sweden as well. You're living there, right?
Yes, correct. And I'm also invested to We Don't Have Time, and I'm a big supporter. I think if the world had more people like Ingmar, like yourself, and with companies passionate about climate change, like We Don't Have Time, which we don't, and then I think we will make the climate change to be a reality, and in a much more needed time frame.
That is so beautiful. How many sessions have you been on here, and what are your impressions? What are you speaking on any sessions? Are you just observing? Are you going to different? I've seen you in the green zone and the blue zone. I've seen you at side events. What's all going on, and how are your impressions so far? What are something you want to tell us about?
I want to talk about, well, I've been to like many sessions, and then I spoke to world leaders, and I spoke to Hillary Clinton, I spoke to different ministers, and Al Gore, a former vice president, and everybody is so focused on women, the female power, the climate change, and also about nature. And I think that is one thing, this COP is very different from any other COP. This is the first COP focused on female power and empowerment of women. This is the first COP ever talk about focusing on nature. And then this is the first COP ever talk about action. Aspiration lead to action. So this is not only a kind of collective of parties together, conference of parties. This is really a conference of future action. So there's so much money and capital being committed into the future action. And every day there were negotiations, different parties want to see what will come to the next step. So I'm very looking forward to the outcome of this COP28.
That's so great. I'm glad to hear that. And I've also seen a lot of monies and ambitions. Also on Innovators Magazine, we've released every day how much money is being committed. So there's some really big ambitions that are coming out, which is exciting to see. We're here at the COP asking two questions, fairly simple questions. One is a twist on a meme, a glass half full or a cup half full. And it's what is your COP half full? What's your optimistic perspective of COP28 half full?
Well, I am an optimist. So as you can see, I would say it's half full because we can do it. According to We Don't Have Time slogan, it always says we can do it, and we can. So, but it's required radical collaboration between all different parties. That's politicians. We need to have correct policies come to support climate change. And not only climate change, biodiversity, restoration of nature, and also empowerment of women, diversity in gender and in biological field. Then we need to mobilize capital We need to mobilize research and innovation. We also need to mobilize all the entrepreneurs. So here I see so many entrepreneurs. I met many of them. They were so passionate about their new technology. They want to find partners to collaborate. So this is a time really find radical collaboration between seemingly unrelated parties, but they could find ways and to collaborate and break through all the barriers. That's the thing I see it's helpful.
Yeah, that is so great. I've also seen this radical collaboration, this cross incubation where two seemingly totally opposite type of organizations or countries or companies have come together to collaborate and create a whole beautiful another sector or way to solve some of our human suffering or global grand challenges. So I've seen that as well. The last question that we have is the hardest one, but it's pretty easy for you to answer. I'm sure it's come from your heart. What does a world that works for everyone look like for you?
You talk about working for everyone, so that is a very tall order because everyone have different perspective. First of all, what works for everyone will be elimination of inequality. So that's number one. Number two, I would say it has to be a world worked with brain and heart. What I mean with brain and heart is every word, every letter have a meaning. B stands for balance. So the world has to be in balance, both in everything we do, work and life balance, and how much you take out from the ground versus how much we consume. Do we have circular economy? Everything has to be in balance. So B stands for balance. R stands for resilience. So now we see more and more resilient extreme weather and with pandemics and so on. So we need to build resilient cities and also resilient culture. And also in teams, in companies, we need to be resilient. So A stands for authenticity. I stand for integrity. N stands for nobility. So that's brain. And then heart stands for humility. Are we humble enough, right? And then we need to also stand for good health. And then E stands for empowerment and empathy. We need to think for others, put ourselves into other people's shoes. And we need to be empowering people, give people power too. So that's including empowering women and so on. So A stands for accountability. Once when you've been given the power, you need to be accountable for what you do. And R stands for respect, and T stands for trust. So if we all stand for this kind of principles, what I call, then I think we will be easily find a world where it's suitable for everyone, because everyone have a different standard, how they want to do things. But if we can really fulfill the brain-heart principles, that will be a world for everyone.
Thank you so much for letting us inside of your ideas. It's been a sheer pleasure. 1.5 Media and Allied4Future.